Welcome to today's episode of Play With It with Cass Allen. As usual, we're talking about dating right now for the last few weeks, and we're still on it. Today's no different. We're talking about getting ghosted. Yep, getting ghosted while you're dating. And by ghosted, we mean someone's chatting with you one day. Conversation seems like it's fairly fluid. You seem like you have a connection. You're looking forward to seeing this person another day in your life. And all of a sudden, they drop off on you. They pretty much, it's like being in a plane and it's just the two of you, pilot and the co-pilot. You kind of got a little expectations of how things are going. And suddenly, one of you pushes a button and ejects yourself. Poof, just like that. Right in the middle of everything. You don't see it coming. That's it. That's what it is. Being ghosted. For those of you who would like to be on the same plane as me, at least, because I find that people use words differently. And sometimes, in particular, since we have a lot of cultures and this country and a lot of languages, sometimes people misunderstand the meaning of words and they think they're using them right and they're not. Or they think they're using them, two people think they're using them the same way at the same time and they're not. So I find it helpful to just give you a little definition of what the fuck I mean when I use the word ghosted. It means somebody just disappears on your ass in thin air, basically. Now, let's talk about longevity. That's the funny thing about ghosting. Time means nothing. People will ghost you any time. You could be dating someone a year, up one day and they're gone. Obviously, you could be dating someone a much shorter time where it's normally expected. You kind of expect shit like that in the first 3 weeks or infancy of the brain, meaning by that when you're younger, some kids be like, fuck you. And that's it. They're 18, 17. Nah, I don't like you. They're in there raw. They're feeling themselves out, getting that identity. I don't hold any of that against them. That's why I don't include them in the conversations. We're talking about adults here, people with experience for most matters, especially if we're talking about my peers. Because I'm not 20, I'm not 30, I'm not 40, I'm not even 50. I'm in my 60s. So, that's why I'm not dumbing down everything. I'm not your professor. You're not here to be schooled. I can't. I have a pet peeve for people who think they have to explain every fucking word in life to people. By that I mean, oh, yes, you know what that is, right? Oh, let me tell you. Like, shut the fuck up. And I'm not being rude, I'm being honest. Let us ask you what we want to know. I'm the type of person, if I don't know something, I'm the first to tell you. I don't understand what you're saying. Depending on your mood, you'll be happy I said it, or you'll be very fucking aggravated with me if we're not getting along, because I'll do it then too. If I don't understand you and you all mad and shit and don't feel like talking in the first goddamn place, that's a reason people might ghost you too, to have a little fun with that. But I digress. We're talking about longevity. It doesn't matter how long you've known someone before they ghost you. A person can turn on you because they met someone that makes them just change everything about them. And they're like, fuck everybody I ever met. This is the one. Fuck y'all. And they're gone. They fall in love. They get swept away. Everything's not really personal. Always. I know a lot of you might want to take some of this stuff towards your self-esteem. or you can't believe what's happening. You wondering if you are going to see someone again. Some of you don't even know how to confirm you've even been ghosted. And that's what we're going through in this episode today. We're talking about longevity, as we just began to delve into, how to confirm that you've been ghosted. The question, will I see you again? We will explore for those of you who have it in your heads. And hopefully we'll also get to self-esteem. But back to longevity. Again, it does not matter how long you've known someone for someone to ghost you. Um, have I ever ghosted anyone? I don't recollect. If it comes up before I end this conversation, I'll be forthcoming and let you know. But I don't recollect ghosting anyone. And I think I've been slightly ghosted once, but it doesn't count because to me, a ghost is permanent. Somebody just falls off. Once I was on a date and someone fell off, but that person came back. So that doesn't quite count, right, y'all? Help me answer these questions. But anyway, yeah, I haven't been there, but I've heard of situations that people are like, that nigga didn't call me back. No, many of you out there know my sexuality. I prefer dating women. I have friends from all walks of life. I don't just hang out with people who like dating women. I have a lot of heterosexual friends, homosexual friends, transgender, whatever. And I won't use the word friend so loosely. I'll say in my network. I believe live and let live. So I mix with a lot of people, and a lot of the things that I say, they don't apply to me. They just apply to humanity. Again, that's why I'm discussing them. And I try not to put the male and female energy on it because a lot of this is sociology and psychology and neuroscience. It's not about the brain unless we're talking about it as, our hormones affect our decisions, which is not what we're talking about. We're giving guidelines and tips on how to navigate through some of these dating scenes and some of the things to look out for, regardless of your sexual inclinations, derivations, or definitions of yourselves. Longevity is longevity, whether you have what, regardless of the type of genitals you have. How to confirm whether or not you're being ghosted. That's something you need to look out for regardless of who you are. I described it for you. You know, you confirm you're being ghosted when you're trying to reach out to someone who's not reaching back out to you. It's pretty simple. If you knock on the door and nobody answers, okay. You come back, you knock on the door and nobody answers, okay. Now, if your ass is dared to be up on four, because I think two is enough, sometimes three, depending on the situation. But if you want to be on your fourth, your eighth knock, that's some shit of dedication, where you are more than likely not acknowledging that you've been ghosted. Someone has disappeared on you. You don't remember any of you when you put your hands over your eyes like this so nobody sees you. That's basically what's happening to you. The person is trying to feel and pretend to be a ghost, and they're like, you don't see me if I don't answer you. It's like when certain people knock on your door and you don't answer. I know my family growing up used to get hit by some religious people at the door that would come with pamphlets, and my mother would tell us all, be still, shit, shut up. If you don't make a noise, you're not home. So pay attention. This is not that hard to get. This is not a situation of, oh, something must be wrong. Let me check the hospitals because I called 7 times and I didn't get a return call. Maybe I should go up to that job. No, the fuck you shouldn't. You're being ghosted. I think I'm being gentle, even though I get my giggles and things, only because I think life is funny, and I think it's a good thing when we're honest about what's going on out here. I don't laugh at the pain, I laugh at the truth. The freedom of being able to tell the truth about the shit around us. Don't be nice to your friend and say, "Oh no, baby, mm-mm. No, they ain't ghost you. Who would ghost you? Who the fuck you think ghosted you? The person who hasn't answered the phone that you've been ringing for 11 times. In 2 weeks, you've called 11 times, and now you think something's wrong because they didn't call you back. Baby, that's not true. You've been ghosted. I don't need that personally. I think a ghost comes on the third ring. Shit, if you call somebody and they're not calling you back, they don't want to fuck with you normally. And if they do, when they're in a situation when they can get your attention, they will. They'll come with that. I'm sorry that you didn't hear from me. Shit was going on. I was in the box. I was in the prison. Whatever the fuck they were. Somebody had me on lockdown. This bitch had money. I had spent 2 weeks taking it all before I could get out. Whatever your situation, they come to you and they let you know, nah, boo, don't get it wrong. I love you. And shit was wrong. Come on now, you in year like 12 and you still haven't heard from this person. If you still don't know, if you didn't know after like the fourth contact and you stopped making contact and you still haven't heard from this person and you've gone from puberty to like, I don't know, 30, it's a ghost, baby. Unfortunately, sometimes for those who are in denial, and we're going to talk about it, it's that when will I see this person again? The date was amazing. I had the best time of my life. They must have felt the same way. Way, same, have, must, they. Did I say that backward? I was trying to rewind there. They must have felt the same way. This is something that gets a lot of y'all in trouble. Just because you have the time of your life on a date, it doesn't mean a person is. Just because you matching energy and they smiling too, y'all might be on a roller coaster and you both might be smiling and both love that fucking rush and that feeling and you get off and everything's right. You're getting gifts and food and conversation. It's great. And you're like, oh my God, I've never experienced anything like this in my life. This person, I just feel like I can open up to them and tell them everything and it feels so fucking good. Isn't that how it ends? It feels so fucking good. That person is smiling and beautiful to you. That day ends. That date ends. Take you home. You're cheesing like me. You're all happy and shit. Cheeks on fleek, right? Dimples showing. See, dim things, whatever I'm pointing to. Dimples showing. You happy. You cheesing. You giving them at least your whole upper grill. You know? Tomorrow comes. You just automatically expect you're gonna get a call because this was fucking amazing. And I know you're gonna beat me to the phone, but you don't get that call. You twiddle your fucking fingers and hair. You call them at the end of the night because there's no way you gonna let the fucking sun go down. The sun will not go down without us having conversation because yesterday was amazing. Hmm. You leave a message. You're a little thrown off. Oh yeah, so and so. Yeah, I just want to call, let you know I had a great time yesterday, the usual spiel. Just wanted to check in. Call me. Your ass ends up asleep and awake the next day without a call. You repeat it. You repeat it a few times. Something must be wrong because so and so didn't call me. I, blah, blah, blah. Fill in the blank. Anything to tell yourself this can't be. Like, we had the best time. You must have had the same. Yes, I matched your energy as the return. I did match your energy, not on the phone. This is just the other person. Yes, I matched your energy. I had a great time with you. And I did it the night before too with somebody else. We had a great time too. And the night before that, I had a great time too. That's why I couldn't call you. Because I was out having a great time. My great time is not tied to you. My great time's tied to me. And that's where people mess up. You think a person's great time is tied to you when it's not. That person's going to have a great time whether they see you today or not. It's okay though. Here's where we take it. Unfortunately, when this happens to a lot of people, they turn into what's wrong with me? Hey, this person didn't call me back. What did I do wrong? This person didn't call me back. Did I talk too much? This person didn't text me back. Did I ask the wrong questions? Was I this person's type? What did I do? Self-esteem and inadequacies begin to creep into the mind. All because someone has decided, I don't want to have a good time with you again. I had a good time, but I'm come on, people, stop being so in your feelings. I beg you during your dating process, because that's what dating is about. Dating is about going out here in the supermarket, as I like to use as an analogy, and seeing what's available, checking out the groceries, tasting stuff, sampling, finding what's your favorite, finding what you don't like. Sometimes you got to put stuff back on the shelf. Sometimes you something is so amazing that you try to buy it again, and when you go back to buy it, it's out of stock because it was a limited edition. Those are those ghosts for y'all. You know, those are gonna come up. Things you're never gonna be able to have again. I know I've gone to the supermarket and bought some limited edition shit that was delicious, but I bought one because I didn't want to spend two and not like it. And when I go back, it's no more. You know? And I had to just sit there after my discontented ways and accept that I had the opportunity to taste it, right? It didn't define me. I didn't change as a person because that's not available anymore. I got the opportunity to taste whatever it was you tasted, whether it was the food on a date, the lips and a kiss, whatever you went through during the dating. Like I said, you can get ghosted at any time. You could taste the forbidden fruit before you get ghosted. People will fuck your brains out for days, weeks, months, and then ghost your ass. Especially people that call themselves upgraded. They'll be like, bitch, by overnight, you done gave a nigga 3 years. And you will wake up the next day by yourself because they've decided they want to take another opportunity that they deem is better than the one with you. Shit hurts sometimes, I know. We probably all been there and don't even know it because people don't want to hurt our feelings. Sometimes people pick a reason to ghost your ass. They make a reason. Not normal. But some prepare in case you find them after you've been ghosted. Because, ghosted by nature means, I'm disappearing on your ass. Sometimes you run into a ghost later in life to wrap this up. A ghost is something you're probably going to face. Some of you won't even know it. People will play that it's me. Or they'll set up a situation. And people go through a lot of shit to get away from you. You'd be surprised. They'll set up a scenario where you don't even know you're being ghosted just because they don't want to hurt your feelings. The bottom line on the subject is if you reaching out to someone and they're not returning that, fucking whether you want to call it a ghost, whatever you want to call it, you're not receiving something that you're looking for. You're in the same fucking grocery store that you know doesn't have what you want. You went there already. They told you I don't sell this item. Why the fuck would you go back? And if you go back, it will be a while. Like, oh, maybe they're stocking this now since time has passed, and you'd be like, okay, they still don't. They don't offer this. Why would you keep going back? But you do that shit with humans. Nah, maybe let me go down to the club. Maybe I'll run into them. You start thinking of ways to bump into the people who ghost in your ass sometime. Now they really want to not only ghost you, but put restraining orders on your crazy ass. Kind of like the movie I watched last night. Y'all know I like to bring those up sometimes. Fanatic with John Travolta. He wanted some attention. And he was being ghosted, beat up, shamed, all kinds of things. He didn't want to listen. Turned into a hell of a movie. And the message was if he had just minded his business from the beginning, when people said, I don't want to fuck with you, like, leave it alone. Don't get in your feelings. Don't get mad. Don't start talking about people, especially if they're not talking about you. They acting like it never happened. They like, nigga, I never saw you before. We never even went out on a date. I don't even know your name. And you out there talking about them to everybody you know. That doesn't look good for you either. You look obsessed. Even if you're not, you might be just angry and torrential with your behavior. I'm not sure. But what I'm trying to say here is, go easy on yourself. If people want to ghost you, let them ghost you. Let them cast for you. Because at the end of the day, everything is not for everybody. And some of those situations that you be trying to connect with, maybe the higher powers pulling that person by the coat going, nah, you ain't for my baby. I don't want this to happen. So maybe they're not really ghosting you. Maybe they're being dragged away because they ain't for you. And that's my message for today, as always. Use discernment. Everything that's taken away from you is not a punishment. You know, sometimes it's just one of these now, now, now. Either you're not ready for that or that's not ready for you. Take more time and think about relationships with humans, especially in the dating pool, because many times that leads to perceived lifetime commitments. So wouldn't you want to put some careful energy into that? Why do you want to marry somebody that's running from you like Pepe Le Pew? I can't quite remember the name of the cartoon, but it came on Saturdays. I think it was a raccoon being chased by a skunk. Or no, it was a skunk and another one who impersonated one. I do not remember the names. Put it in the comments for me. It wasn't meant to be, and all it ever was a chase while one was being ghosted. Leave me alone. Like, it's never going to change. So don't hurt your feelings by continuing to chase something that's not for you. You heard it here from Cass Allen on Pay With It. Have a good day and have a good night.